My win-loss ratio, it's alright. I have some wins, I have some losses. It's not incredibly win efficient, but this is the deck that I am running, and it's very much inspired by this comment here. This is Ragnaraika. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it is a plant, insect, and reptile based deck, but I'm mainly keeping it in the insect aspect, and I don't really want to talk about each individual card right now. That'll be at the end of the video, but here's a deck list. I think it's cool. The deck is kind of expensive, but as you can see, a lot of the cards are kind of normal and rare, so you know, it's pretty cool in that aspect. The extra deck is a little bit expensive and it's a little bit janky, but I'll talk about that more later. I have a lot of replays to show you. This first replay is going to be me doing the combos, and later on it's replays of me just dueling a variety of different decks, whether it be Stun, Kashtira, top meta decks such as Lubel, I think is his name. I don't know why I call him Ubelion. Regardless, yeah, the deck is pretty simple. You want Evil Seed, and it's not really searchable in the deck. There's like, I would say 6 copies of it in the deck. That includes Ragnaraika Bloom and Evil Seed himself, and he's very important, but you can play the deck without Evil Seed. And the other engine is the Insect engine, which surprisingly doesn't have a once per turn. So Retaliating Sea, it's going to get me a search here, and I'm gonna normal summon, go into Beetrooper, which lets me normal summon again. The card I searched out, Gokipole, searches me out another Retaliating Sea, which I normal summon, and Monk is like banish 2 specific cards in your graveyard: Insect, Plant, and Reptile. Search a trap. It's pretty lackluster, but still, it's a 1 disrupt, so I do run it, even though the trap can be a brick at times. I'm gonna make the big boss. I know this guy has like card sleeves. You can destroy 2 cards on the opponent's side of the field. It comes up sometimes. I barely make him, but I do make him, just because he's kind of cool, and he can come back from the graveyard for pretty cheap. Next up, I'm gonna make Chain Coils. It's like the second boss. I rarely make her too, but in this instance, I'm able to go kind of full combo, I would say. Where, let me pause real quick. I have a plant, I have a reptile, I have an insect, and generally and always, I don't think I even have her in the graveyard, but I'm gonna be activating this card right here called Wicked Butterfly, where it's if I control the different types, which I have all 3, I can draw 3 cards at the end phase. I always try to trigger her effect just because getting 3 cards is OP, and it adds up over the course of a lot of turns. My hand has, the opponent surrendered. But my hand has some interesting cards like Infinite Antlion, Battlewasp, and some weird insect. They do come up. I don't know if I would say that this deck is necessarily noob friendly. There's a lot of like aspects of it that you kind of have to like know Yu-Gi-Oh! Such as Antlion is good to equip from my hand. Generally I want to equip from the graveyard, and I'm only doing that just so I can get Retaliating Seas on field effects sent from the field to the graveyard to activate so I can get a search. I usually search for a Maxx, a copy of Maxx, but I already have one, and I didn't really have another playable like board. I think that was the best thing I could have did in that scenario. They're going to activate Called by the Grave on my Maxx, which kind of makes me scared, but at the same time that means that I don't have to fear Maxx on my own turn. Let me speed it up. And they're playing, I think, Bestials or something. My hand is like just negate, and you know, Maxx, which got negated. Main phase 1, they're going to do Fallen to use my fusion. I'm going to negate that. And then end phase, they're going to try to search out the fusion spell. I'm going to negate that. Now he has 2 cards and I have 2 cards. Except I'm going to do something a little weird here. Ultimate Great Instinct is level 9. Effective Village is a tuner level 1. I'm going to go into Baron de Fleur. Main reason I did this is because Baron has a destroy a card on the field effect, so I can get in a little bit more damage. Otherwise I would have kept the fusion because it can't be destroyed by battle, but Effect Village can't negate everything, and Baron de Fleur pretty much can. So kind of like saves me just in case they happen to top deck a card that like gets them exactly what they need. I'm going to normal summon Gokipole, going for some damage. Main phase 2, this is weird, but this is a tech, and it does work. Salaman Great Almirage, it gets Gokipole in the graveyard, gets me Retaliating Sea for next turn. And if they activate a branded fusion, Retaliating Sea acts as like a Macrocosmos hand trap of sorts. It's interesting, but I usually just use it for the on-field effect when it's sent to the grave. They're going to normal summon, I think, a Luber, and I'm just going to negate it, and they scoop. Opening up, Ash Blossom, Beetrooper, Scale Bomber, Ragnaraika, Armored Lizard, and Gokipole, and Giant Ballgame. I think this was the Zodiac player, and I chose not to negate that Tenki, and I held on to it because I was like, what if they have something better? Like, I don't know, Branded Fusion? Because I remember I used to use like Ash Blossom on everything, and then I always get punished by like super powerful cards like Grass is Greener or Branded Fusion and stuff like that just gets so much advantage off one card. They're gonna do Zodiac combos, which is actually sick. I didn't even know about this. And surprisingly, look at that win rate. It's a 78%. Well, not in this duel, because I have a Giant Ballpark. I bet you've never seen this card in your life. I'm just kidding. If you like insects, you probably have. They're going to use Maxx. I'm going to chain the Ash Blossom just because I'm going to be special in this turn. At least I think I am. I'm going to go into Sky Crisis. Now, I don't know why I did it in this order. What I should have did first was Giant Ballgame. First, get the special summon from the grave. Oh, I don't have one. But I should have did Giant Ballgame first. Then I should have swapped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change control. So they get my Gokipole, and when it's into the graveyard, I get a search, which is going to happen right now. And I get their Utopia Draco Future, which can negate and it can be destroyed by battle card effects. Also, this Giant Ballgame stays on the field forever because it's a continuous spell. So if I ever want to steal a monster next turn, and I have the required monster in hand and on the field, I can do that. Which, I mean, it's kind of nice. I only run one Giant Ballgame. Just because, I mean, he didn't like it, he destroyed it. But just because multiple kind of bricks up, so you only need one anyways, you know? But yeah, Superstar Slayer's kind of cool. I like it a lot. They're going to make SP Little Knight. I'm just going to summon, attack, not activate any effects. I could have ended the duel right there if I normal summoned Wicked, but they had 2 back row and I was a little bit afraid, so I was going to summon the floating target just in case, but it was a misplay on my part. I do misplay. I was busy. People were talking to me while I was doing this, so I was messing up. That's my excuse. But yeah, I'm gonna link summon this monster. It's 3 insect, plant, or reptile monsters, and excuse me, just 2+, and destroys 2 spell traps by banishing cards from my graveyard. This card's amazing. It's actually low-key. This card's really, really good. They're gonna go into Dryden. I think they scoop up here, right? Because they're going to Dryden, pop my XYZ, they're going to go into Boar Bow, and I think they realize they have 2 little life points. They might have went into Zeus or something. Now, I wouldn't say the deck is perfect. There are some tech choices which I don't completely think are necessary in the deck, such as Resonance Insect, which I like the idea of, but it requires you to run like level 5 or higher monsters, which doesn't really come up. This example is mainly for stun, because I'm playing against a stun player. Somehow they didn't have 5 back row. I don't know. They didn't. But they have Fossil Dino, which is normally a really annoying card. But my deck kind of has like every turn I can add a monster, and the monsters I add don't have weak attack. And this boosts up the attack and lowers the attack of the opponents. So I'm going to normal summon Butterfly. It's 21. Now it's 24. That's a huge normal summon. They activate Macro. I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't really care about Macro. I had Giant Ballgame as well, and I was thinking, should I like take their Fossil Dino? I was like, that's stupid. I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? It's just gonna ruin me. So I didn't. And yeah, I think right here, Bloom's just gonna add me Lizard. I do like Lizard. I don't know if it comes up. Oh, it does. I normal summon, pop the Fossil Dino back to hand. Don't really know why I did that. Also, misplay. I should attack with Lizard, but I mean, I couldn't have predicted that the monster would have less than 600 defense. They're gonna activate Fossil Dino, get rid of one of the Blooms, attempt to attack over my Lizard. They do, and I think that's it. And literally next turn, I just swing for game. Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest replay, but it does show that this deck can deal with stun, and I have hand traps, you know. Dream Cicada. That was a card I was testing with. That card, it's not bad. It's if you control an insect, special summon it from your hand. I mainly ran it because it changes battle positions, but I found that I think it's like a Battlewasp is better. I don't think in like the 30 or 40 duels that I played, I really had one extremely bad hand. There was always a way to like do something, even if it wasn't super good. And somehow on the bright side, my opponent was able to do like that much either. I'm gonna drop Maxx at the main phase as soon as they activate that effect. Usually I activate it during the draw phase, but that's on turn 2, once I have established my board. Just because I don't really deem Maxx to be super important in this deck because it's searchable. And when a card is searchable, you can just use it willy-nilly. You can use it however you want. The opponent is afraid of Maxx, so they just end on a Primera. But I'm pretty sure like these cards can like trigger on my turn. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, they're probably going to be able to play on my turn, so we'll see what they can do. Let me speed it up. I'm going to do Evil Seed. Evil Seed's going to add Butterfly and Beetle. Really important to add Butterfly here because Evil Seed, when he adds, he has to banish. And Butterfly, when it's banished, you get an effect. You get a card at the end phase. So I usually try to always add Butterfly as a banished target. Another card I would banish out of my hand that I would want to banish is Resonance Insect, which gets me a Gokipole and Grave. But I don't run that many Resonance Insect, like I mentioned before, because my only search target is this guy. Humongous Hive Hegemon Zexstagger. That's a crazy name. Look at the picture too, man. He's a crazy card. But yeah, he special summons an insect during each player's end phase, and it negates the effects, which kind of sucks, but the monster, like, some of them float, so when they go to the graveyard you get searches, so he's kind of cool. He's gimmicky. He's not competitive, I would say, but he's kind of like a fun win more card, and I like running him, because, I mean, in what other deck would I ever get to use this guy? So I'm taking full advantage of it. Opponent's gonna special summon Omni Dragon, which you discard a card, you search a card. They're gonna search out Bestial Magna. That's actually legit. Bestial Magna, I believe, is gonna trigger here, and I can't negate the summon, but I can negate the search with all my cards that they're summoning under Maxx. And I'm pretty sure, this is my turn, right? And look at that, I have another Maxx for their turn. Dude, I'm pretty sure I went through all of them, all the Maxx. I don't know, man. Yeah, that's all the Maxx, dude. Just like so many searches. I'm gonna drop another Maxx. They have one card. What are they gonna do, bro? They're gonna use a spell. They're gonna get their little Chundea. They're gonna summon her out. I'm gonna pop her. So they don't even get that, and I think that's GG. I think it's this duel where I duel against Cubions, and it was amazing. My opening hand is weird. I don't necessarily really have that great of plays. I do have Infinite Antlion, and I could have just attached Retaliating from my hand, but I managed to make it work by doing this. I make SP Little Knight, I have the Hive. Hive at the end phase is going to special summon, or at least attempt to special summon because I use Infinite Imperm, but SP Little Knight can just dodge effects, so I'm going to target my own cards, banish them, so they don't have a target for Infinite Imperm, and I still get the special Retaliating, and my monsters come back at the end phase. So, I mean, that's a little nice. And it is this duel. Cubion! And I was kind of like, when I saw this, I was kind of like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna have to pay attention. I was like talking to somebody at the same time. The duel went on for a long time, I'm gonna speed it up. I honestly never played against a good Cubion player before. That sounds mean. But this guy seemed like, or this girl, whatever, this person seemed like they knew what they were doing. They're gonna summon this Duza, and they're gonna attack into me. Infinite Antlion triggers when your opponent declares an attack. You can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can destroy a card during the start of the damage step. I really like it because it gets cards out of my graveyard which have effects that trigger when they leave the field. And yeah, they're gonna steal it because they don't like it. And I'm like, okay, well that kind of sucks, but it'll be okay. Add a Maxx, add a Retaliating, summon Battlewasp. Dude, this card's legit! Battlewasp, it searches out Pin the Bullseye, which is just you control an insect special summon. It's a legit card too. I like Battlewasp a lot because it can negate a monster effect by tributing. I'm gonna go into the Synchro 6, which can, like, it can pretty much attack over any monster attack. Or, what does it do? Oh, it halves the attack, excuse me. So, in theory, it can get over any monster that's like 5,000, 500 attack? I think that's the correct math. I might be wrong. But, yep. Let's see, get a monster in my graveyard, or from my graveyard, SP Little Knight comes back. And, I mean, it looks like I won the game, right? They have Time Tearing Morganite, which gets them 2 draws, they get 2 normals, and what else? They can't activate monsters in hand, so that's a downside, I would say. They're going to summon this Crimson Nova, which I'm pretty sure he can attack multiple times or something. They're going to activate this spell card. I don't really know what it does. I'm just going to destroy it, because I'm a little afraid, because I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, because I don't know Cubions that well. I've never really played them. I do know them a little bit, and I'm interested to see what happens. And something does happen, so they're gonna summon 3 of this Duza dude, go into Time Thief. And enter battle. This guy can attack multiple times, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he can make a second attack. And he's unaffected by monster effects, so the Wasp can't get over him. Retaliating C is going to get me a Gokipole. And, you know, things are looking a little bleak. You know, the opponent came back, 3 cards in my hand. What am I going to do? The game might be over for me, right? Well, not really. Each player takes 3,000 damage. That is crazy. I didn't expect that, to be honest. This is a long duel. I'm going to speed it back up. IP Little Knight. I'm just going to keep doing that with the Time Thief, because Time Thief can, like, steal some of my cards, and I don't want him to steal my trap. I think I already used a trap, excuse me. I don't want him to steal any of my spells, because he'll just get a free draw from that. So, yeah, here I'm going to use this guy, destroy 2 back row by banishing cards. Cards that are banished, one of them is the Butterfly, so I get draws at the end phase. Go into Giant Insect by using the Equip guy. And Giant Insect can pretty much crash into this guy, and since he can't be destroyed by battle, mine should survive this attack. And this guy's unaffected by monsters who are 3,000 less attack, so I was like, how do I get over that? There are ways. I could have just made a link 5, but I thought this was more funner. They're going to summon these Bijum Cube Seeds. They can't be destroyed by battle, and when they battle any monster, you put like this counter, and then they can't attack and their effects are negated. And they activate this spell card, which I didn't really know what it did, but it scared me. Because he was doing all sorts of things, and I was like, I'm going to destroy that monster because I don't know what he's doing. It was really frightening, honestly. My turn. They're going to activate Time Thief. SP Little Knight. I'm going to banish the Viajum. And I was dumb here. I was like, oh, the game's over. Evil Seed, get my searches, Gokipole. I'm just going to summon a monster, get rid of Time Thief, and I'm just going to attack for game. Or whatever I was thinking. So I get the Armored Lizard. Oh, I don't even do it. Oh, yeah, because I'm like, I'm just going to use this guy. 2,600 attack over the Time Thief. Bro, this guy has a counter. He can't even attack. I forgot. I goofed up. Opponent has another turn. Or do they? I'm going to make the big boss monster. Should have made him a long time ago, honestly. And I'm going to bring back this guy, Antlion. If they attack any one of my insects, which most of my monsters on the field are insects, I can destroy 1 card on the field. Make the Steel Snapper. And I think I draw 2 at the end phase here. Oh, I didn't even draw any. Oh, man. Never mind. I like having the Wasp as well because it's a monster effect negate, which I think actually comes up here. They're going to... What are they going to do? Negate SP Little Knight with Forbidden Droplets. They're going to go into Sky Thunder. And I'm going to activate my guy, which can destroy when they special summon. And then they're going to chain their Sky Thunder, Zeus. And then I'm going to chain my Sting, negating his effect. And, I mean, that's game. Wasp, take him out. I'm going to open up with Sting the Poison. They're going to chain Maxx, and this is where I realized I made a mistake. Because generally what I do now is I always do Evil Seed first. Always Evil Seed first. The main reason for that is whenever I summon like Sting and it gets a search to like do whatever, and they chain Maxx, they get a free draw. But if I do Evil Seed first, then they miss out on 1 free draw unless they do it on standby phase or draw phase, and usually nobody does that. Except me. I love doing that. But only during main phase 2. Or only during turn 2, I should say. So Bloom's gonna get me a search. I'm gonna banish, or excuse me. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's so late. I'm gonna discard the Butterfly, then banish it using Lizard in hand. I'm gonna use Evil Seed to get my searches, and end phase, because I think I'm under Maxx, I'm gonna draw 3. Now this isn't bad. Nibiru is gonna tribute 2 of mine with Soul Exchange. That's a new card. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, they're playing, I think, Winged Dragon of Raw. They're gonna attempt to attack me. Antlion's gonna work. They're gonna still attack me, which Antlion's just gonna trigger destroying their card. I'm gonna get a search off of Gokipole, Retaliating Cease. For next turn, I can just normal it. And Bloom is really cool because it's a continuous spell that's just continuously getting advantage each and every one of my turns, and it also provides damage modifiers, which like normally doesn't seem that big, but I mean it stacks up, and I think I do stack it up in this duel. So I'm going to try to search out the trap here, get some searches off, banish 2 cards, and yeah, Bloom's just going to special summon Lizard back. I'm going to return Lizard back to the deck, special summon the Plant, activate the... I think I activate all 3 Blooms! So that's a 900 attack boost. I think I calculated it here, and it was enough for game. And luckily, Antlion came in clutch there because I don't think I would have had enough for game if that wasn't there. I lie to you. I'm a complete liar. That wasn't enough for game. I mean, I think when Antlion attacked and destroyed, I missed the attack again. It didn't give me the option. That's probably why. Double effect Veiler, Sting the Poison, Homunculus, and 1-for-1. I'm gonna activate the 1-for-1 first, pitching the Veiler, and see if Evil Eye gets negated. It doesn't. And as always, add Butterfly. I want Bloom here because this is a really nice combo. Bloom's gonna give me a draw at the end phase. Or excuse me, Butterfly's gonna give me a draw at the end phase. Bloom's gonna special summon the Butterfly that was just banished. And yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good for me. Just getting my specials on, spamming the board out, going into this guy because he's a reptile, then bringing back the plant guy, ending on that. Main reason I end on this board is because I get 3 draws during the end phase. I have Sting, which is a monster effect negate. Homunculus can special summon during the opponent's end phase, and I don't have a target, but if I do negate a monster effect, I will have a target. And I have at least 1 negate in hand. If I didn't have 1 negate in hand, I would have ended on a different board. And I probably should have, but I didn't want to commit too much. And I think this is yugioh, right? So negate one thing, they're going to make this guy Unchained Lord. I'm going to negate that. Okay, and they're going to banish that guy from the graveyard. They're going to summon this little flower girl. And I'm out of negates. I think I only had like 2. So let's see what they can do. They're going to use a field spell. They're going to summon out 1 Yubel. Ooh, Yubel Terra Incarnate. Ooh, Yubel Fusion. Unchained. Go into another... I don't know why they did that. And then go into another Yubel. Okay, that's a lot of damage. I probably could have died there if they didn't make this link. I think maybe they played correctly. I have no idea. I don't play Yubel. But yeah, it's my turn. And I don't see any negates. So I should be okay, right? Let's see. I'm going to use this guy to destroy the 2 spells. And they're going to activate something in their graveyard. I believe it's you summon out the Unchained from the grave. They're going to link off using my guy, SP Little Knight. Ooh, they can banish a card on the field. And they can banish, like if I activate anything, they can banish another card. I don't know why SP Little Knight got banished. I'm going to be quiet. Did they banish their own? Hold up. No, I have to pause this. Why did Did they banish their own SP Little Knight? Okay, this guy is just trolling. This guy is just trolling. I don't know what he's thinking. But I'm not even afraid because Sting the Poison is going to negate the Yubel. And all I have to do is just deal enough damage per game. And I have a lot of cards, a lot of advantage in my graveyard, in my banish pile, and in my hand. So I should be fine with that, right? Special summon these links from the graveyard because, yeah, they have an effect where during the graveyard you could just target an insect, plant a reptile, and just put it back in the deck, summon it out. It comes up a little bit, it comes up more in the grind game than in like normal combos, I would say. There's probably some really good combos, maybe one of you will figure out, or somebody out there has already figured out, where you utilize the graveyard effect a lot. I haven't truly figured it out, I do use it sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah, the only thing I'm really like banking on is Wasp, Trap, and Ash Blossom. And the Trap right now is going to pop that spell card, which is kind of nice. I'm going to negate the Dark Beckoning, I believe, with the Wasp. They're going to summon out that Yubel, and they're going to attempt to search through the deck. I'm going to chain the Ash Blossom, and I think that's all she wrote. Final duel, and I hope you've been enjoying these duels. If you have, feel free to hit that like button, smash that like button, as the people say. And I think this was like one of the first duels I played of the day. And I'm glad it was one of the first because I would not have had the patience to do this one later. I am going to speed this up because this is an extremely long duel. There's a lot of back and forth, and well, you will see why. So they ended up banishing 10 cards. That is important. It does come up because they're playing a deck that utilizes their banish pile. That's pretty cool. And if you can see, they have 43 cards in their deck. I have, how many do I have? 29. I don't exactly remember if that comes up, but I think it does. I'm going to make the link that pops the back row. And destroy 2 cards. They're going to chain. They're playing Paleozoics. They're going to send Transaction Roll Back. I'm going to make this big link. I'm going to do the Hive at the end phase, special summon Retaliating from my hand. and I'm just gonna wall up. I don't really know what to expect. I'm gonna use this trap, pop one card. I ended up popping Destructive Karma Cannon. I guess that was a good hit. Would have got rid of my length. I'm gonna go into Chain Coils. No idea why I did it like that. I don't know why I just didn't go straight for the attack, but I think it was because I saw the threatening roar and I was like, well, if I attack, they're just gonna do transaction rollback. Maxx search, I think that does actually come up because they do special. And the reason about Banish Pile works is even though it's banished face down, they can look at all those face down cards, choose any one of them, and put it in the graveyard. Ended up putting this card called Ferret Flames, and spoiler alert, I think I used this like 2 or 3 times over the course of the duel. It's kind of annoying. End phase, they're gonna get 2 draws. That's a feels bad, man. That doesn't even feel like that's that good. Also, their life points are pretty low. They're only gonna get lower and lower. Normal summon Soldier Dragons, which is a really cool card in my opinion. Whenever I activate a card effect, like right there, they can special summon a dragon from their deck. I used to run that in Dragon Rollers. I like it. Or activate Ferret of Flames or whatever, and I think I have to shuffle back all of my monsters. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Also, they're getting a ton of mills. Oh yeah, never mind. It wasn't Grass is Greener. It was Laundry Dragon Maid that they used to get a ton of mills. And I think that the reason I was really in this game was Bloom, because we're already on turn 6 and I just keep activating Bloom. Bloom, my turn Bloom, my turn Bloom, just free searches. Seed gets me 2 searches from my banish pile as well, so I can recycle my cards that are like getting banished. And I don't feel like I'm ever gonna deck out because like Bloom and Seed are just OP. Antlion equip. Right here I'm like, okay, Antlion's gonna pop soldiers because soldiers gonna get annoying. He's gonna keep searching. I can only attack Dragon Maid because he banished this like card called Rise to Full Height, where I can only attack 1 monster, and if that 1 monster's gone, I can't attack anything. I guess that's how it works. So yeah, opponent's turn. Activate the trap card. They can place a trap at the bottom of their deck. I'm just gonna activate Maxx. They didn't even do anything, so I should have held on to the Maxx because they're gonna do something on my turn. Like right now, they're gonna activate Needlebug Nest, special summon a Paleozoic, standby phase, main phase. I'm like, okay, well let's destroy the 2 back row, right? Okay. They're gonna chain them, trap trick. They're gonna activate another one and summon a Paleozoic. Oh, 2 Paleozoics, damn. Alright, at the end phase, I'm going to draw a couple cards. I think I control Reptile Insect. Never mind, I control nothing, so I'm not going to draw anything unless I do control things. Luckily, Bloom is just like, hey, don't get punished, get free cards. So, you know, I'll take it. Just summon, oh my god, all the whole board's back, bro. The board's filled up. And okay, I'm like, alright, you know, I'll make another Selene Snapper just so I can have it for next turn. Get another Battlewasp just in case I need to negate a monster effect. And yeah, I got like 2 or 3 draws here. And not bad. Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's the one I'm the most excited about, just in case something comes up where I need it. Effect Veiler's dead here. So is Wasp, because the XYZ they make is unaffected by monster effects. So I chained a trap because I'm like, I'll just destroy it then. And I figured they might have 2 or 3, but still, I mean, I hope to deal with like multiple other copies. There's Sprite Elf, I can negate this. I don't know if they completely forgot I have a Wasp on my side of the field, or maybe they anticipated it or something. Not entirely sure. Enter battle phase, they're going to try to attack over Wasp. Oh no, Antlion! Oh no, you attack again even though I summon Antlion? Because when you summon Antlion, the opponents ask like, hey, do you still want to attack? You should say no if your opponent has Antlion and you're attacking an insect. But, I mean, they didn't read the card, so not my problem. SP Little Knight can banish a card in the graveyard. I target transaction rollback. They don't have any other transaction rollbacks in the graveyard. I just targeted that one because I wanted to force them to use it. And I can't go for game this turn, but if you notice, they have 188 life points, 0 cards in hand, 0 transaction rollbacks, and they scoop. So in the grind game, only because of Evil Seed and the continuous spell card am I able to survive, reuse my banished pile, reuse my graveyard over and over and over. It's lovely. But boy, am I tired after all those replays, and it is super late, so I'm going to try to get this over with a little bit more quickly. Effect Veiler, hand trap. Maxx, hand trap. Ash Blossom, hand trap. other hand trap-esque cards, which don't really see play. Retaliating C, if your opponent activates a spell card that includes the effect to special summon a monster, such as like Polymerization, Branded Fusion. I don't really know what else. 1-for-1 maybe. You could summon this guy on the field, and as long as it's face up on the field, it acts as a Macrocosmos. Essentially, any cards into the graveyard, including your own cards in your own graveyard, are banished. Yes, that can hurt you, but generally you use it as much as you can to hurt your opponent, and as little as you can to hurt yourself, if you understand that. Infinite Antlion is a weird battle hand trap where when your opponent declares an attack, you special summon this card from your hand. It equips a insect from your hand or graveyard. The insects you want to equip are Retaliating C, Gokipole, and Resonance Insect. Other than that, you can equip any other insect, but these ones give you immediate advantage to your hand. And Retaliating C, I would say, is the best one because it searches you out max C. Infinite Antlion is also searchable, and it can just destroy a card on the field. Besides that, there are some cards that like special summon themselves from the hand, such as Beetrooper Scaled Bomber. It has an on-field effect, which is quite nice, but the main reason it's ran in the deck and only one copy, because it's a hard once per turn, is if an insect is normal or special summon this card from your hand. It's really pretty. It can destroy an opponent's monster by tributing. It doesn't negate the effect, it just destroys it, but that is useful in certain scenarios. The other one is Battlewasp Pinned to Bullseye. This one's really amazing. Just control an insect, special summon it. That's it. There's no bad effect, it's just control, special. So I like it, it's amazing. You could probably run Link Karibo, but I don't know, the extra deck's janky, so I'll get to that later. Humongous Hive Hegemon. It is my only level 5 or higher monster. In fact, it's a level 8, it's an insect, and if an insect is special summoned, you can special summon this guy from your hand. And the only reason I run it is because it's searchable through Resonance Insect, who is quite decent, because he's kind of like a Retaliating C and a Gokipole, except he is limited to only one search in the entire deck. Humongous Hive. And normally I would never play a 1-to-1 card, but in this case, Resonance also has, if this card is banished, you can send one insect from your deck to the graveyard. And this deck does have ways to like banish cards in your hand, in your graveyard. Some of the most important cards, in my opinion, are the ones that you normal summon. Cards that can be normal summoned or special summoned are Battlewasp Sting. It has one search. It's when it's normal or special, you can search out Pin to Bullseye. That's literally what it should say, because that's all it does in this deck. It has another on-field effect, which is a quick effect. Amazing, by the way. I love that, because like sometimes I just put this guy on the board and I have another insect on the field, and it immediately applies pressure to my opponent, even if I'm going second and my opponent already has an established board. Just that effect monster negate is pretty powerful and potent. Another starter I would say is Gokipole. You could just like normal this guy, and as long as you have another card that could be special summoned alongside it, and you can make a link too, you can get your level 4 insect search. The ones that I like the most are Wicked Butterfly, because this acts as a discard from hand special summon insect plant. So it's essentially like one of these guys that special summon himself from the hand, except she doesn't special summon herself, she special summons another card. Retaliating C can just be normal summoned, and if you can make a link 2, or I mean you can even make link 1s, you can search out a Gokipole, you can search out Antlion, and I think you could search out Maxx, which is the one I usually search out because Maxx gets you multiple cards and it's kind of annoying to deal with. Ragnarika, the Evil Seed's pretty important. He's kind of hard to see in the deck. Either you hard draw him or you don't see him at all. There is a way to send him from the deck to the graveyard using Diabolus, the Menacing Mantis. I don't own this card, and also I don't know how you would figure out how to make a Synchro 8. But if you could figure it out, you could technically search out Ragnarika the Evil Seed by sending him to the graveyard, then special summoning him out with Samurai Beetle. But I mean, that's just like, you know, that's just something I'm just brain blasting. Besides that, this guy can be normal or special, so you can even normal him, but you can special summon himself by the hand from sending another insect, reptile, or plant. Pretty useful, very important. Recycles cards from your banished pile. And usually with Evil Seed, I always get the search of Bloom and Butterfly, because Evil Seed, once he gets his 2 searches, or it's up to 2, you can get 1 if you want, but you should get 2, more advantage. you have to banish a card in your hand. And when Wicked Butterfly is banished, you get cards at the end phase. So essentially what this guy says is, hey, search out any one of your Ragnarika cards, and then at the end phase, you can draw up to 3 cards. That's pretty much what he says. If you already have a Wicked Butterfly in your hand, you can just search out Beetle and Bloom, or you can search out Armored Lizard and Beetle if you already have a Bloom in your hand and a Butterfly. I've been in all types of scenarios and it's worked out perfectly well. Besides that, there is 3 Samurai Beetle. I've run this guy at 1, 2, and 3. I found that I like him at 2, but I'm bumping him up to 3 just because he does have great synergy in the deck, being able to special summon insects from your graveyard, and the insects are amazing, so he's not the worst guy in the world, but he's also not the best. He can be special summoned by your hand by like placing one of your banished insects to the bottom of the deck. That doesn't really come up, but it does come up enough because it's kind of hard to get your cards banished unless you're already in your combo. And once you're already in your combo, you don't. This guy's more of an extender, like going past like a win more card than oh man, he's getting my combos going. He is not a getting your combos going type of card. He's a oh, you got everything done? I was sitting down sleeping under the tree with my hat. It's time to wake up and do the laundry, you know. He's getting ready for work. Only one Armored Lizard. I feel like I only need one. I wish Armored Lizard was the insect, and I wish the stupid I shouldn't call him stupid. I wish the Samurai Beetle was the reptile, but that's not how it works, because this guy is amazing. He is banish an insect, plant, or reptile from your graveyard, so he works perfectly in the deck. He gets your cards banished, and then some of the cards like work really well with being banished. And he has an on-field effect where you can discard an insect, plant, or reptile, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and then return it to the extra deck, or return it to the hand, excuse me. I don't know if I said extra. I was thinking of like an XYZ. Yeah, I like it. It's a bounce. I only need one. I don't even like search it out most of the time, but sometimes I do search it out if I need that bounce, or if I need the body, or if I need a card banished in my graveyard. Like, it has multiple scenarios where it's useful. That's why I like it. Butterfly, just discard special summon anything else from your hand. When it's banished, draw. 1 for 1, the best search is Evil Seed. It will ask you to special summon Battlewasp, Effect Veiler, but you should always pick Evil Seed just because those cards don't get you anything when they're special summoned, but Evil Seed does. Hence, you get more advantage, you get more cards in your hand, and you're able to do better combos. Giant Ballgame is a super troll card. I love it. I'm going to leave it in the deck. I think it works fine. It acts as like a weird monster reborn once for a level 6 or lower insect monster, but also it's like the creature swap ability where you change monsters with your opponent. That is so true. Nobody expects it, and I love it. It's so toxic and awesome. Ragnaraika Bloom. Oh man, this card is so good. Attack and damage multiplier on top of every turn, get a surge on top of every turn, get a special summon, including from your banish pile. Oh man, dude, this card is so good. If this deck ever got hit, I think this card would be the one that gets hit. And I hope it doesn't. I mean, I don't even think the deck is that good. It is quite decent, but, you know, it's not like what I would say, ooh, #1 tier 0 deck. Nah, it's not. It's fun though. And it's pretty cheap. Ragnarika Hunting Dance, the trap's pretty lackluster. It acts as like a disrupt, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. I say it's lackluster because it's like, it doesn't really do much besides that, but it is searchable, so it's kind of like a free destroy 1 during your opponent's turn. So it's like, yeah, you should run it, but do you feel good about running it? At least in my case, I don't. I feel kind of bad about it. Extra deck's wonky. Ultimate Great Insect, the main way, and I think the only way you're special summoning it, was Antlion having an equipped target. It fulfills a condition to just what is it? Tribute an insect with 2,000 or more defense with an equipped card. Antlion acts as that because it gains 500 attack and defense. This guy is pretty good if your opponent has a field spell because you can just destroy all monsters they control. I think I did that like 2 times. Generally, people don't have field spells, but sometimes it does come up. And I usually make it because it's 3,000 attack and it can't be destroyed by battle. Battlewasp is like the best Synchro 6 that's an insect, plant, or reptile, I would say. I mean, I have all of them pulled up on the right side of the screen, and they're not really that impressive. Like Desert Lotus, you have to discard a card when you summon. Like, why would you do that? No, I'm not trying to discard, bro. So yeah, this guy can get over monsters through battle, and he burns a little bit, but on the fleur, because Battlewasp and Humongous Hive, that makes a 10. And yeah, that's the main reason. It does come up. It's funny enough. It does come up. In fact, I even made Verdon de Fleur using Ultimate Grade Instinct and the Effect Veiler, because Effect Veiler is a tuner as well. So yeah, I mean, Verdon de Fleur is OP. Very, very OP. So I'm running it. Super Star Slayer, Typhon, Sky's Crisis. Yeah, this guy is bonkers. In fact, I feel like I should run 2, but there's only a couple duels where I actually need to. So it doesn't really come up truly that much. Alright, Link 1 is Clara and Rishka. She's not super important. She like rarely comes up, but sometimes I have a Retaliating Sea and no other monster on my board, or no other way to get a monster, and I want Retaliating Sea in the graveyard for the search, maybe a Maxx C for my opponent's turn or something. Go main phase 2, if able, make her, and then I search out whatever card I need. Desperate times call for, you know, desperate measures. Salamangreat Almirage is a better Clara because you can do it main phase 1. Usually I do it with Gokipole or Resonance Insect, but that's like if I'm super desperate. Generally I try to avoid this card, but if I'm very, very desperate, I do use it. Beetrooper Armor Horn? I don't think that's how you spell armor. But this card is only really used, or at least I only really used it when I had multiple insects in my hand that need to be normal summoned or can't really be special summoned because I can't fulfill the cost, such as Samurai Beetle, Resonance, Gokipole, Resonance Insect. SP Little Knight is OP, very good. I hope it gets limited, but this card can banish a card in the field or in the graveyard if you use a Link, Synchro, Fusion, or whatever. Generally you're going to be using like Clara or Salamangreat just to get the banish on field, but you don't always need to banish on field, just because the on-field effect where you can banish it and any other monster on the field is pretty useful. 2 copies of Ragnarika Skeletal Soldier. I think 2 copies is important because this is one of the most important Ragnarika monsters. Special summons 1 from the graveyard, but it hard locks you into insect, plant, and reptiles. Mantis Monk, banish 2, add a trap, cool. Selene Snapper, banish 2, destroy 2 spelled traps, it's cool. World Sea Dragon Zelantis. I never made this guy once. Never. In theory, you can just link him on top of a Chain Coils or Stag Servant. Even if you bring these guys back from the graveyard, I'm pretty sure you could just do this guy. But yeah, I never made him once. So I can't honestly tell you how good he is because I never made him. But he was always there as an option. Chain Coils is meh, it's okay. It's just, it stops your opponent from activating cards in their hand. It's usually like, it feels like a win more card. And Stag Sovereign, it also feels like a win more card. So I don't generally make them. Usually I just make the little guys and then I have a bunch of like hand traps to back it up, along with like a bunch of searches or whatever, and like 1 trap disrupt. But yeah, that is a deck profile. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you like the video, feel free to hit like and subscribe. I'm going to be trying to post some more stuff when I can. And besides that, hope you have a great day or night. Thank you so much for everybody who watches and for all the comments and suggestions. I do try to read them. And yeah, maybe I'll catch you next time. Later.